For those of you who have never played Pokemon Snap on the Nintendo 64, you are doing yourself a great disservice. Pokemon Snap on the Nintendo 64 is one of the chillest, most relaxing games I've ever played in my life. It's just, no pressure, low bar, go around, take pictures of Pokemon. Basically, at its core, it is a rail shooter, You go through, you're on tracks. As you progress, you get different items and stuff to check out. And that's kind of the name of the game. You're starting off in the beginning of just taking pictures, and as you go, you develop the skills and you gain the tools and knowledge you need to take the best pictures of the Pokemon that you're looking for. So the game actually starts off with an awesome cinematic that has the main character. His name, canonically, is Todd Snap. And it has him kind of going through, looking like he's going to take some pictures, when you get some quick glimpses of, well, if you're a fan, it's obviously Mew, but, in the game, what is this thing, right? So he gets some quick glimpses of Mew, but does not get the pictures he needs. And that's what brings you right into the probably best title screen ever. I mean, it's not like particularly good in the sense of like anything going on. It's good in the sense of the music and just the feel. It's like, hey, listen to this. We're about to jump in. Let's play some Pokemon Snap. The game starts you off on the beach level, and it really does a great job of kind of just conveying what you're going to be doing in this game. More or less, to make it very simple, this is an on-rails shooter, except for instead of blasting zombies or taking out criminals, you're taking pictures of Pokemon. Now, the pictures of the Pokemon are going to be worth points, and then those points add to your overall score of the total game, and also adds to your Pokedex, where you're trying to capture all the game's Pokemon. Now, when this game came out, it was in the Gen 1 area, so there would have been a potential for 151 Pokemon. They obviously didn't include all of those in this game, so there's not 151, but there are quite a lot. And the cool thing is, and you'll see this a lot more later in the video, to get some of these Pokemon is very, very tricky. And it's really what makes the game very replayable. Now, each level by itself, being an on-rails shooter, is pretty much, in a sense, timed. So being timed like that, you only have basically, so much game to enjoy. But the replayability is massive because there is no way you can go through a single level and do everything in one run. There's just too many things to do, which really gives you a great incentive to keep going back. And that's one of the things that makes this game really stick in my mind, is like a thing that I loved so much about the Nintendo 64 era. Throughout the game, you're going to get special tools to help you out, and usually you unlock these as you progress, but obviously I've already beaten the game, so I already have everything right now. But, it starts off as simple as apples. You can throw apples at Pokemon to hit them and kind of piss them off, or you can, use the apples by throwing them in a line, say, to lure a Pokemon into getting into a position or near other Pokemon. Now, there's all sorts of scoring at the end of the day here, so what you need to keep into account is how centered the picture is, how close up the Pokemon is, what kind of pose the Pokemon's doing, and if there are other Pokemon involved. And all these things can add massively to the score. So, like I said, with the apples, you can throw them along a line or say, and get Pikachu to maybe, jump on the surfboard. All of a sudden, you now have the surfing Pikachu picture, and it's worth more points inherently because it's like a special picture. There's all sorts of stuff like this throughout the levels, and some levels go even further. As for instance, if you keep going through this level, the first level that is, and you kind of mess with this Meowth along the way, in the end, the Meowth is going to try to take vengeance on Pidgeys, right? So in the very, very end, if you've really pissed off the Meowth the whole time, he's going to be in this Pidgey nest, and then they're going to obliterate him with a whirlwind attack. So this is like a very simple version of something that happens a lot in this game, and like I said, these kind of little secrets are really what make you want to keep playing it and keep kind of like peeking around every corner to find what you can find. Like the apples, you also get something called a pester ball. Basically, it's like an annoyance, but you throw these at the Pokemon to really piss them off. In some cases, with smaller Pokemon, usually it'll like knock them out and basically ruin any chance you're supposed to get a picture of them. But with other Pokemon, it really makes them mad and gets them to get in an angry pose. One cool secret Pokemon here in the first level is you see a bunch of tall grass and a bunch of leaves kind of blowing, flying around, so you don't know what's going on. throw a whole bunch of pester balls in there until you hit it, and then boom, Scyther comes out. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that really makes this game great. I know I'm going to keep saying like the replay value is through the roof, but you have to remember, in the beginning you don't have the pester ball. So, when you get these new items, it makes you want to keep coming back and trying new things on old levels. The last trick of the trade that I'm definitely going to want to point out here is the Poke Flute. The Poke Flute is really cool because it actually has several tunes in it, but depending on the Pokemon or the situation, the Poke Flute actually makes them do different kinds of dances. A good example, once again, going back to the first level, is there's a sleeping Snorlax. Now when you go through here the first time, you throw apples at it, nothing. Later on in the game, you unlock Pester Balls, try throwing those at it, nothing. Come back with a Poke Flute, canonically just like the original Red and Blue games, play it, and boom, you got yourself a big old dancing Snorlax. This applies to a lot of Pokemon in different parts of the game, and it's actually probably my favorite item, only because I really like the music anyway, but it's cool to see the Pokemon dancing rather than just being angry or whatever. Now, the progression of this game is quite possibly one of my favorite things about this game. When you start out, it's very simple, right? The first level, there's no secrets or anything as far as progression. Basically, just beat the level. Get a high enough score, catching a few Pokemon, whatever you need to do, the target, to get to the second level. Now, the second level is where you get the Pester Balls and where things start to really open up. So you're going through the level and, you see a bunch of electrodes. Early in the level, you see one of them just explode. Then you kind of find out, well, hey, if I throw a pester ball on it, it's going to explode, so that's something worth knowing. So you do that, and, you find out that they can explode by throwing pester balls at them. You find some other secrets in this level, too. One thing that's really neat is you can coax the Electabuzzes into these little generators to use an electric shock to turn on these cameras, and that's actually how you learn that if you want to take a picture of Magnemite at the end, you need to throw an apple and catch him while he's eating. But hey, that's neither here nor there. The thing I want to point out here is you'll see this one lone Electrode at the very end of the level, seemingly just hanging out by himself. Well, you throw a pester ball at him, and when he explodes, he blows open the route to the next level, and that is just so cool, right? When that first happened, I was like, hold the phone, hold on. Now we get to go to a new level because I made the path myself. Okay, all right, I see what we're doing here. And the cool thing is that continues throughout the game. Now, the volcano level is one of my favorites because, oh man, first off, you get stopped by a Moltres egg. It's the first time you get to see, a legendary Pokemon in this game. It's unpassable unless you hit it with a Pester Ball and knock it in the lava and make it hatch. But you wonder, hey, I'm stopped here and there's 3 Charmander. What's the deal here? Anyway, long story short, you keep throwing apples and eventually a whole bunch of Charmanders come out, jump over the wall, and then, once again, like I said, it's my favorite item, you throw on the Poke Flute, and then you get these guys all dancing in a fun line. It's worth major points because you get multiple Charmanders, you get them in a cool dancing pose, they're obviously right in front of you, so you got a good squared up shot. But it's just one of those things, it's really, really neat. But then beyond that, you go to the next area and you see these weird kind of laid out craters. Well, so, curiosity may get the better of you, so, throw in some pester balls, right? We throw in the first one, Growlithe comes out. That's cool. Throw in the second one, hey, another Growlithe. Now, if you get all 3 and you throw in the third one, boom, Arcanine comes out. And, I mean, huge thing with a bunch of embers all over them. You get a really good shot, worth a lot of points. But then you turn immediately around and you see a Charmeleon kind of circling a crater. So, logic kind of dictates, okay, I've been throwing stuff into these craters and Pokemon have been coming out. What happens if I throw something and knock Charmeleon in the crater? Boom, you do that, huge explosion, Charizard. It's a great end to the level. It's just one of those things that will always stick in my mind because when that first happened, I remember just being oh my god, it's Charizard! Charizard is honestly one of the coolest Pokemon anyway, but still, this is just such a cool part about this game. I'm honestly going to skip a couple levels here, and I'm also going to skip a bunch of secrets in this level, but I do want to really point out some stuff here. So, this game, like I said, has a lot of replayability. You can keep going through and doing all sorts of stuff to get Pokemon around, but this level has 2 legendary things you can do. So early off, you see a Magikarp jumping around, and if you can hit that shiny Magikarp, he's a little different because he has a bunch of sparkles on him. You'll see him fly towards this Mankey, who then just punches him into space. Okay, forget about this Magikarp. We're not going to see him for a while. Cool thing is, though, keep kind of going through the river rapids, and you'll see a bunch of Geodudes and Gravelers on the wall. If you can knock them down, they knock Sandshrews out from burrowed in the ground. Cool way, cool little secret to get new Pokemon. Granted, there's way more than that in this level. I mean, you can mess up the Staryus and get a Starmie, all sorts of stuff. But anyway, go down this rapid river, and out of nowhere, that Magikarp that was knocked into space falls its way down to where you're at. Now, there's two things you can do here that are pretty cool. One, you can take the route of playing the Poke Flute and having the Gravelers come down and do a little dance. Or two, you can hit that Magikarp, making him super pissed off, bounces into the waterfall, and then a massive explosion of Gyarados. This is like one of the premier secrets of the game. It's, nowadays it's so old, obviously, like everyone knows about it, but you just gotta imagine, at the time, this was amazing. And what's even cooler than this is at the very end of the level, you keep on going down, and you see this whirlpool, and when you throw a whole bunch of stuff in the whirlpool, a Dragonite comes out. I mean, I don't know. Stuff like this really makes this game just a treasure. And one more thing, just to really max out the crazy stuff you can do in this level in particular. At the very end, there's a different Mankey, still a pissed off Mankey, but you can knock a Squirtle into him and then eventually hit him onto a switch that ends up unlocking more secrets in the game. Now, once you've beaten all the levels, and once you've gone through and taken pictures of all the Pokemon that you can, there's still one last thing. You end up finding out that of the 6 levels, each one of them has a secret Pokemon sign. Now, this is typically just a rock formation, or maybe like a projection of light that looks like a Pokemon that may or may not actually be in the game, which is very interesting in my opinion. But anyway, when you get all 6 Pokemon signs, they end up representing some constellations, and that's when you unlock the final level. I'm not gonna lie though, the final level has never been one that I personally cared about. I don't enjoy it. I don't really like the sound effects. I don't really like Mew that much, and I don't really like the fact that even when you do what you're supposed to do, the pictures of Mew you get are very far away. Granted, they're still worth a ton of points, but regardless, basically all this level is Mew keeps flying at you with his little bubble shield, and you can't take a picture of him when he's in his shield because it makes some kind of big refracted light or something, I don't know, but you can't see him. Anyway, you keep throwing pester balls at him, and it'll break the shield. Eventually, when the shield's broken, the shield flies away from you, and Mew comes in chasing after it. Like I said, by the time you finally kind of get a lock on him, you're taking a picture more or less very far away. He might look back. It's very boring, and that's all you do. That's it. There's nothing else, no other Pokemon, which I get it. But I mean, it's just, that's it. And, I kind of wish there was something more for, like, an end game thing. I mean, this is cool. I do wish, and maybe, I don't know. I truly haven't done a crazy amount of research, but maybe there's a way to get a better shot of Mew that I don't know about. But even so, even if there is, and let's just say that there is and I just didn't know about it, it still is, like, kind of, that's it, that's the ending, I don't know, that's just me, but what do you guys think? Other than that, this game has the best music. It's just such a chill time, and overall it is a very, very enjoyable game. So this is going to bring me on to my final point, and really what I'm most excited about. If you're watching this on the day of release, then basically the new Pokemon Snap comes out this weekend. And, after looking at the trailer and looking at the gameplay footage, it looks like it's everything I want it to be. Basically, it's Pokemon Snap for 64, but just more. It looks like obviously the graphics are going to be improved because it's like a 20-year time gap, but certain things that I really wanted to do in a specific level is now being implemented. One thing I always thought that was really neat was like, the levels are very linear and you unlock new levels by kind of doing certain things. But now, what if you could take certain paths in the same level, maybe go left instead of right and get different angles? That is implemented in the new Pokemon Snap. So stuff like that. Another thing that's going to be really big for me is, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I played Pokemon Red and Blue. I played Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green. And I did play Sword and Shield. And I do think the only issue I'm going to have with the new Pokemon Snap is the same issue I had with Sword and Shield. And it's not really an issue. It's literally just personal. And that is, I don't know like any of these Pokemon. So a big thing with Pokemon Snap is obviously if you see a Bulbasaur, your first thought is like, oh man, can I do something to make him evolve? Well, I'm going to be doing that with every single Pokemon in this new game because I don't know what evolves and what doesn't. So maybe in a way that's a cool thing, but I cannot wait to go through and find the branching paths, find the secret Pokemon, find the secret special pictures. I'm just so excited for this weekend. I'm ready for a nice, relaxing game, and I think the new Pokemon Snap is going to be right up my alley. So it's really funny because the original Pokemon Snap came out so long ago, and when they finally announced this new Pokemon Snap, and then they announced like Pokemon Arceus and the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, you know, a lot of people were like, oh, you know, there's so much Pokemon going on right now. What's going on here? And I tell you what, out of the three, if it was like, hey, you can only have one of these games, it would be the new Pokemon Snap. I am so ready for just a chill, fun experience. But hey, what do you guys think? Is Pokemon Snap a game that you really liked on Nintendo 64? Or have you never played it? Because if not, you need to really go check it out. Let me know in the comments down below, and also let me know if you're looking forward to the new Pokemon Snap. That's going to do it for us today, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you haven't, please do. That'd be really cool. Like I said, if you feel any kind of way about Pokemon Snap or Pokemon in general, throw it down in the comments down below. Love to hear from you guys. And hey, as always, take it easy.